Welcome to True Vine Talks with Rachel and Linda. We're glad that you can take this time, if you have time today, to listen to our podcast. Um, I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and we appreciate you very much during this time. So today, Rachel and I, we were trying to process what would be a good topic for our listeners and our clients. And we think that, I wrote some notes up here. If you can see them, you may not be able to. That's okay, because I'm going to talk about it. So during this pandemic, Rachel and I have covered, what you're experiencing, which is traumatic. It's trauma and anxiety and a lot of unknowns, and how difficult that is for us to psychologically make sense of and still maintain some level of homeostasis, which is when our nervous system is calm. Okay. So that has been very hard to harness if you are inundated with the language in the media right now, which is something Rachel and I were talking about earlier. And Rachel, what do you think makes it hard for us to be mindful right now, like in calm?
I think there's a lot of distractions. Like you said, we're feeling, a lot of people are feeling anxious because of the uncertainty. And so we're thinking about, the future. When is this going to be over with? When am I going to return to normal? When is fill in the blank. And we're also experiencing a lot of grief, and we're thinking about the past where, I miss going to, my office for work, and I miss being able to hang out with friends. The weather's been nice. Wish I could have a barbecue, whatever. So we're focusing on what's to come ahead in the future and what life used to be like in the past. And we're not spending a whole lot of time in the right now, in the present moment. So that's what we're going to discuss today, ways to do that.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, just harnessing in, being in the present moment. That is what mindfulness is. It's being attuned to what am I feeling, in my body right now. What do I feel? Do I feel any tension? Do I feel, what thoughts are coming up for me in this moment? Is it, man, I just can't wait to get this hair did, which, I can't wait to get my hair did. And, what's going on inside of you right now? And, making sense of that in the moment. And so,
yeah.
Go ahead, Rachel.
I was just going to say exactly, and acknowledging all of that in kind of a calm and non-judgmental way. So if we're feeling sad or angry, we're not getting frustrated with ourselves for feeling that way. We're just accepting it, and allowing ourselves to feel.
Very well stated. Very well stated. Allowing ourselves to feel what we're feeling without judging it or shaming people for it or shaming ourselves for it. Because this is unknown territory we're in. I don't know too many people that live through a pandemic, so we're living through a different time. So these are tools that, Rachel and I have used ourselves, or we've taught our clients, or we've learned in our trainings, and they do work. But don't beat yourself up if you can't embrace mindfulness. It's not really easy to do. Is it, Rachel? It's kind of hard.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people sense that there's a lot of rules surrounding mindfulness, but it can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're focusing on what you're experiencing right now.
Yeah. I like it. Cool. So, anxiety. Oh yeah, we talked about the things that we have done. There's also this book I have recommended, and I'm gonna look at my notes. I've recommended to several people, clients, people that I mentor, is the Neuro Wisdom book. And let me just reference him because he's so awesome. It's by Mark Robert Waldman and Chris Manning. Um, and some of their stuff may not be as relevant current because of the pandemic, but a lot of their things are helpful just in being mindful. And so, one of the questions that he asked is, what is the best approach to my current state of mind? Like, or problem. And so what is the best approach? And I know there's been a lot, Psychology Today has written, there have been plenty of articles about, what to do to stay resilient and healthy right now. And I think that's important for, our listeners to be like, all right, what can I do right now? And if I ask that question, what comes up for me is I can pray, I can call friends, I can read, I can be present for my clients in this format. I can talk to my kid. Those are the things that I can do in the present moment, given we're all at the stay-at-home order still. Is that kind of where you're at, Rachel? Like, you think about what you can do?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how does that help our mental health to kind of, what's within my range of control right now?
Yeah. There's a limited amount of things that we control. So focusing on what's inside of that range of control that you talked about, because there's a whole lot outside that we can't control.
Yeah. Very much so. Like all the news media outlets, you'll read one article, it says this about this, and then you read another article and it's saying something totally different. And it's like, okay. And I like what one article said, just go ahead and put all the social media away, put the news away, tuck it away. Now be mindful of what's going on in your area, but this, I could read and get myself in a real panic state, some of these things that are online right now. It's triggering. Yeah. And so when you're wanting to be mindful, you don't want your thoughts to be in fear mode, fight or flight mode. So to get still and be present means I'm putting all the fear factor stuff away. I'm going to just put all that away for a moment.
Well, and practicing these mindfulness activities that we're going to demonstrate actually help to soothe the fight and flight response that our limbic system has when we sense danger and become anxious. So if you feel that coming on, doing some of these things will help.
Yeah, that's very good. And so we're going to demonstrate for you a few things, so actually 4 things, because Rachel and I are very structured. I like it. So how to be mindful. So I'm going to let Rachel take the lead on this, and I will do it with her. So we're going to do breathing.
Yeah, okay. So deep breathing, I think we've talked about this in a previous podcast, but you want to do slow, deep breaths. I think sometimes people, when they're anxious or afraid, they think, I need to breathe. And they start breathing really fast, and that speeds up your heart rate, right? When we're being mindful and we're trying to soothe and calm ourselves, we want to slow the heart rate down. And we do that by breathing in very slowly, holding our breath, and then breathing out very slowly. We breathe in our nose and we breathe out our mouth, right? Yeah. So I try to do like 3 or 4 counts. So in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I needed to hold it for 4, so you guys.
If you don't want or can't hold it for 4, that is fine. That's just what I do. Yeah.
That is the way. That is the best approach to the breathing. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. The next one is a tapping exercise, and this is a different EFT that I was taught in school by Dr. Linda Jaranella. She was an amazing professor, and she taught me emotionally freedom technique. So, and it's from energy medicine, Donna Eden stuff. And, you know, it really works to tap on the negative energies that are flowing through our bodies. And it's a mind body work. And I believe that that's all connected. So I'm going to show and demonstrate, and Rachel's going to do it along with me, is how to do this energy freedom technique. So if I'm feeling, you know, I just read some stupid article on my news feed and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. You know, I want to tap on that. I want to calm my limbic system back down. So I'm in fight or flight, you know, just read this crazy article and I need to calm down. So I'm going to tap and I'm going to start up here. And she called this the Tarzan thump. And so we're tapping on our clavicle here. And, you know, the idea is that our lymphatic fluids get kind of trapped in there. And when we start tapping, it loosens up that fluid. That's what I was taught, you know, whether you believe it or not, that's okay. So I'm going to say this, even though I'm feeling anxious,
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Good job. Good job, Rachel. And so then we move on to, you know, for a girl, it'd be the bra strap. You know, we sometimes call this the gorilla tap. Okay. So make sure you're breathing through the process. Okay. Even though I'm feeling anxious,
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Good job. And then she would have us, and I'm stand up because it's on the outer parts of your thighs. So you're tapping here and you're saying, even though I feel anxious,
Even
it's
though
okay. That's
I
okay.
feel anxious,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Good job. And then you can sit back down. Thank you, Rachel. And now we're going to do, you know, these are all the chakras, of course. You know, if you're in massage therapy, they do know where all the chakras are. So even though I feel anxious,
Even though I feel anxious,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Now you tap on the mustache. Even though I feel anxious,
Even though I feel anxious,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Now the third eye, they call it, even though
Even though
I feel anxiety,
I feel anxiety,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Good job, Rachel. Now you're going to tap on your crown, and you just go all the way around your crown, like your skull. Even though I feel anxiety,
Even though I'm feeling anxiety,
I still love,
I still love,
accept.
accept.
Okay, cool. So then you go to the middle of the crown and you tap, even though I feel anxious,
Even though I feel anxious,
I still love,
I still love,
accept,
accept,
and deeply forgive myself.
and deeply forgive myself.
Here's the good part. You got to flick that negative energy away from yourself, okay? That's important.
Yeah.
The nervous system. I think you froze again. Did you freeze again?
I'm sorry. I'm going to need to tap after this recording.
Yeah, I
All the
know.
technical difficulties.
I know. It's so hard.
Oh, all right.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's tapping.
Yeah.
And I have learned and read that yes, it drains the lymphatic system that you were talking about. It's also bilateral stimulation, these ones, right? So if anyone has ever been upset and gone on a walk and been like, oh, I feel so much better, that's because using one side of your body and then the other side of your body is bilateral stimulation, and that helps activate both sides of the brain. And when we become upset, we're mostly in the right side of our brain, which is very emotional. And so bilateral stimulation, the tapping right here and on our legs, helps to bring the left brain on board, which is more logic and ration and reasoning. All right, so now we're going to do a body scan.
Good.
All right, so a body scan is a good way to be mindful and aware of what physiologically you're experiencing in your body. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. What was the last thing that you heard me say, in case I need to repeat it?
We're going to do a physiological scan, like check-in body scan, right?
Yeah, cool. All right.
So,
Yeah, so I usually start with my head. It's kind of like focus my attention on the top of my head, see if I feel anything there, and then kind of imagine like a hula hoop or something. It's kind of like going down, right? So we're starting at the top of our head and we're working our way down, forehead, eyes, ears, our cheeks, mouth, chin.
you froze. You froze, right? Rachel was awesome. You froze right here. That was
Yeah,
great.
I think you were too. Yeah, I could hear you the whole time though. All right, yeah. So we've
That's
done like
cool.
our head and face, and then down to our neck, shoulders, and you can do this slowly. We're kind of going through it just for the sake of demonstration. You know, we're gonna do, you know, our upper arm, bicep area, elbows. We're gonna check in on our uh, like intestines, you know, heart, lungs, everything in our torso area, forearms, hips, thighs, knees, shins and calves, ankles, feet and toes.
Nice. I
So
love
we're going
body.
all the way down. Yeah.
Good job, Rachel.
Thanks. Yeah, and what you might notice when you do that is you might notice some tension somewhere if you're feeling stressed or anxious, right? You might notice that your stomach feels a little nauseous, or you might have butterflies. Your chest might feel tight or heavy. So we're just checking in. What's happening for me? Do I feel it anywhere in my body?
Yeah, that's good. And we do that in couples therapy too.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. Um, thank you, Rachel. And the next one is, we're going to do mindful eating. So I don't know if Rachel has some chocolate over there where she be.
Oh, I should have got some. I don't think so.
Your house, you don't have any chocolate in your house?
I have a diabetes sugar tablet. So I'll use that.
I'm going to use the
Oh.
real stuff here. This is sugar, girl. Okay, so when you go to mindfully eat something, this can also help you in your, say like you're trying not to eat too much and you're trying to be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Slowing the process down can really help you with eating less, if that's part of your goal too. But part of this is just a relaxation. You want to notice the color, it's yellow, it's got a blue in it. And you notice the cookie on the front and how that fires up your salivation. Time to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And notice the bag, it crackles. Notice the noise that makes. How does that sound to you? What is that like? Who knew
Sounds
you
like
could make
snack
eating
time.
Snack time. Yeah. Who knew eating could be so mindful, right? So
Right.
then you want to, and of course you notice I've already been into these. You want to slowly pour out some chocolate. You can look at your tablet, your little sugar tablet. I mean, seriously, Rachel, where's the chocolate? Come on.
Downstairs.
He's doing good. Anyways, as I get to eat my delicious chocolate. So I want to look at the chocolate. I want to notice how they look. They're little, chocolate. They look like little Hershey chocolate kisses, only they're not really Hershey chocolate kisses, right? Laughing at me. And so I just want to just embrace the chocolate, I'm just smelling it, thinking about it, and then I'm gonna put, because they're so small, I'm gonna put 2 or 3 in my mouth. And then I'm just gonna let it melt. I'm gonna let it melt in my mouth. What was that experience like for me? Delightful. Yeah. So who knew you could eat slowly and mindfully like that? You guys like that?
Experience.
I like it because it's chocolate,
the sound, right? Yeah. Experiencing the sound, the taste, the smell, trying to bring in as many senses as you can.
Yes, Rachel, very good. And that's mindfulness. And I hope that demonstrations, even if we had lags, that those were helpful to our listeners or our clients.
Yeah, I hope so too.
We're not trying to make this time or make light of what we're all going through. We're just trying to find ways to cope and maintain our own homeostasis during the pandemic, right, Rachel?
Yeah. I have a lot of people ask, well, what do I do with my anxiety, or what do I do with my anger? And my answer is always, well, the first step is to just allow yourself to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some ways that you can do that with the body scan, deep breathing, you know.
But we just want to thank our listeners, and we just appreciate you, and we thank you for listening to our podcast today.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.